Welcome everyone, this is Sharon Blain. Welcome to Hairy Chats. Today we're going to be talking to the most wonderful man I have the most incredible respect for, Errol Douglas. Errol Douglas is based in London, and I sat down with him in his salon recently and we had a wonderful chat about creativity, his direction for the Hairdressing Awards, and lots of other things. I think you're going to enjoy what Errol has to share. He's the most amazing man. The passion that he has after so many years is absolutely incredible. And I walked away from that conversation feeling so grateful that I got to spend that time with him. So grab a coffee, settle back and enjoy this hairy chat with the gorgeous Errol Douglas. I'd like to welcome Errol Douglas. Errol is someone who I've highly respected for so many years. He has an amazing buzzy salon at Knightsbridge Way in London, and I think his claim to fame is the fact that he'd been nominated for so many years for the British Hairdressing Awards. He's such a go-getter. He's all around the world, crazy creative guy, and it's just so fortunate that I've been able to catch up with him and spend some time having a little chat with Errol. So Errol, thanks for giving me some time. I really appreciate that.
You're welcome.
And yeah, so the big pressure's on the weekend, isn't it? Because the awards are about to announce again.
Yeah.
And you were saying, is it 23 times?
22 times. This
22
is
times.
my 22nd nomination consecutively.
So how does this nomination come about?
The British Hairdressing Awards nomination, and again, obviously I have to say it because they sponsor it, Schwarzkopf, is quite intense because it's not a competition, it's a nomination. Mm-hmm. So to get the nomination, you have to have a TV presence in the country. Right. You have to be an educator, and that means you have to educate in this country and global. You have to be a mentor. Yes. And one of the rules which has changed, you had to have a business. Right. And now that's changed because people like Angelo Seminara, Mark Hayes and certain other people who don't have businesses have been in the loop. Yes. And obviously Eugene Solomon. Yes. And they're all highly respected, amazing hairdressers, don't get me wrong. But that nomination has to come from press as well. So I have to be nominated by 70 of my hairdressers. And then there's 30 press, and that press is a mixture of beauty press and trade press. And they put certain names in because you get a ballot, you get a sheet which is blank, and then you have to put your 3 relevant people. So that goes to obviously 100 people. So to just be nominated is massive, isn't it? Yes, yeah. Well, you know, I mean, to win it would be the ultimate. It would. And every time I look at your awards, like every year, I'm always quick to check out what everybody's done. Yeah. Like, how do you come up every single year with something different? Okay. This year, and I'm going to take you through this process because this year was exciting. I've shot with Andrew O'Toole I've known Andrew for 25 years. Okay. Before Andrew was famous or synonymous, I worked with him. He brought me together with a really good friend of mine who's now passed away, a guy called Umberto Giannini. They were very close as friends. And that's how I got my link with him. And he was always saying to me, if I'm working with him, because I think Andrew has got his own style, but I don't shoot with Andrew for Andrew's style, I shoot for my brand. And he always used to say, it's not enough. And I said, what do you mean it's not enough? He's a good narrator and he knows what to shoot. So I've worked with him over the years. And then I just thought, no, I'm not going to work with him anymore. And I haven't worked with him for quite a long time. And then all of a sudden I had this amazing idea. And when I called him and we spoke about it, he said, oh my God, I've been thinking about something like that for ages. He had an idea parked in his head years ago. Right. And it got ignited by me saying I want to shoot on location, and like to shoot on location, especially for British, is the hardest thing. Tough, yeah. Forget it. So did you shoot in Australia or here? I shot in Australia. So what's unique to this? Okay, this process, Sharon, is unique because it took us ages to get to the concept, the mood board, because I saw different locations. He sent me all these different locations around Melbourne, and I said, no. And then he said, okay, I live 4 or 5 hours outside. Why don't you come and have a look around there? Don't even quote me where it was, far away.
Yes.
And then he said, okay, I'm going to show you this place. I'm going to show you this place. He showed me this butter mill place, and they use it for weddings.
Right.
And that's what it's known for, a function place. And I said, that's where we need to shoot, because it's got all these different crevices and all these. And then the hair came, and this sounds crazy as it is. The hair came because we were talking about, I wanted to do something quite editorial but avant-garde. I wanted to do haircut, editorial and avant-garde. I wanted to just do a simple, I had all the styles in my head, but it was executing it. And one of the things that I dreamt about was a Cleopatra, because I've done this hairstyle which is Cleopatra, but it's old African plaits and twists on European hair. So we've executed that stunning, and the rest just came. And the most annoying thing about this shoot is we shot loads of models, tons of models, tons and tons.
Really?
Yeah,
really?
And I only used 8, but there were so many shots we used, and Andrew is a type of photographer, you can't say you want to use these shots or 4, whatever. He would only edit the 4 or the 8.
That's right. Yes, I know that.
So don't even go there.
Yes.
So I'm seeing all this, not money, because I shouldn't say it like that, I'm just seeing all this stuff getting thrown away, and beautiful work, don't get me wrong. And then I was thinking, I can't use that, can't use that, can't use that. And then he puts it all together. Okay, I put it together, and then he puts it together, but you always go with him because he's got such a good eye.
He does, doesn't he?
He's amazing.
Well, I think I saw your journey on Instagram with the background.
Yes.
And out in the back of nowhere.
Yes.
And I thought, gee, this is a bit of a interesting switch for you from London to the back blocks of Australia.
Yeah. You know what the most amazing thing with that trip was? I've been to Australia for the last, I don't know, over 20 years. I did something which was quite endearing to you because I think you did it. I did my first crusade there. Remember when Goldwell used to do a crusade? And that was quite intense.
Yes.
Because it wasn't about hair, it was about you.
Yes, that's right.
And you have to captivate all those people in that room.
Yes, that's right.
I'm thinking, what do they want to know about me?
I know.
Anyway, so just imagine, I've been going there, I've never seen a koala bear, never seen a kangaroo.
And did you see? You did see them this time, though, didn't you?
Yes. And I was just blown away. And these animals, obviously, they move away from humans now. They go as far into the bush as possible.
Yeah.
And we were driving there really early in the morning, and Andrew went, Errol! Stopped the car, because obviously they're jittery, and we just crept up and saw this herd of kangaroos.
Yeah.
It's the most amazing scene.
We have some pretty unique country there.
Yeah.
And it's pretty harsh as well. And just to take on that type of photo shoot in a outside location, I mean,
hot.
That's tough.
Yeah, it was hot.
Well, you would have done that in April, would you?
Yeah.
When I met you in Sydney for the awards, you would have been going on to him then.
Yeah.
So how do you rate your chances?
Have you seen the pictures?
I haven't had a chance.
I'll show you them afterwards.
I saw one. I think they've been posting one from each collection.
Yeah.
I saw something come up, but
these pictures they're provocative, they're feminine. It's a real trend, okay? One of the things which hairdressing or working with big colour companies and product companies has taught me is how to do a proper trend, okay?
Yes.
We all think we know about pictures, but if it doesn't blend into
where things are going,
it becomes like I've just gone.
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense.
It's like you've torn a picture out and said, "I'm going to copy that."
Exactly. exactly.
And I must say, that's very interesting you say that, because I know when I was going to, in Galway, for many years, I went in and did a lot of their styling for their, forward trends.
Yeah.
And they would send you a book so big from the trends agency, talking about what they see as current.
So obviously you must have met those guys in in Hamburg.
Yes. Nico, of course.
Okay. He taught me a lot as well, because he he pushed you.
Well, I worked with Nico and, the trend, Cayenne, is it?
Cayenne.
Melanie, all those people.
Okay.
So I think, to be honest, the growth for me personally had been that relationship that I had with those guys, because never had I ever seen anything so detailed as these trends and these forecasts of what's happening. And, so they obviously, as you would have done this, you're taking a photo for something that's going to be not even looked at or seen by anyone for 18 months.
Okay. And again, you've polarised something which is quite interesting, and we were talking about it upstairs. You would talk championship hair. People I respect is Mark Leeson and Mark Hill, because they're kind of trained, and I say that in that way because they're quite gifted in that way. Marcel Wave, everybody has to do that. They know how to obviously cut a proper flat top, and the kind of architectural 45 degree, they know that, So the great thing about me when I was doing the trends with these big advertising companies, 20 people, and you know what I'm talking about, would sit there going, no,
it's not special. I don't know if you ever remember this, but Melanie, the girl from the Trends Agency, she would always say, it's just not special. And I think, oh my God, like what else can I give you? And we're doing 2 looks a day, weren't we? And we would start at 8 in the morning, and we're still trying to make something special at 11 o'clock at night. Disrespecting the time, they were going to get that whatever. And you would just turn tricks every minute to try and get something more for them. There were times when I used to think, I don't think I can go back today. No. They've just defeated you so much.
See, that built me and made me stronger.
Yes.
Okay, even though I went home thinking, oh God, I'm useless.
Oh, same.
I'm thinking I can't pick up a brush.
Yeah.
I can't, I was so depleted.
Yes.
And again, and I'm going to park that, when I was approaching this shoot, I just wanted it to be like a big advertising campaign.
Yes.
But I wanted it to go on every billboard and make sense.
Is it a collection or is it an individual standalone image?
It's a collection. They're individual standalone images, Sharon.
Yes.
But it is a definite, you correlate them together. Yes. And I'm going to show you them to you, and you're going to go, wow. And then when I show you them together, like a concertina thing, you go, boom. Yeah. Okay. And that is the effect I wanted to create, and I definitely have, because this year, and this is what I love about British Hairdressing Awards, people stick to their own styles.
Yes, you can pick them a mile off, can't you?
You wouldn't pick these.
Yeah. And you know what, I reckon that's what's so damn important. Yeah. Because I think at the end of the day, when you have your style and people just say, oh well, that's so and so, that's so and so. I always try really hard to challenge the judges, because when I have been shooting for Hairdresser of the Year, I used to think, oh, they know my style, and so I would try really hard to switch it up all the time and not be just like, I can pick Frank's straight away, and it's just amazing, Frank's work. But you just know, oh, well, that's Frank's. And it's frustrating as a judge for me, because I judged the first round in Australia. And I have no idea who any of them are. No idea, but I just know their style. Yeah. And there'll be a couple and you'll think, oh gosh, that's pretty impressive. I wonder who that come from. Something right left of field, and it'll be someone you never even knew. No. But pretty much everyone sets in their style. So how do you think Australian hairdressing relates? What do you think we look like on the world stage? Australian
hairdressing for me is it's the most surreal experience I've ever will get involved with, because the boundaries are incredible, because there's no hold. Here we've got hold on hair wefts, wigs, okay? There you've got a clear field of whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
And the great interpretation of that is somebody becomes a true artist.
Yes.
Okay, and I don't care even if somebody just puts like a piece of hair on the head, as long as it looks good with everything else. Okay.
Yeah.
One of the and your I mean, oh God, me and you. That's why I love avant-garde. But I don't do avant-garde anymore. Some of your avant-garde collections are insane, but it's quite interesting. Damien Ronaldo did a collection ages ago, which was just that crazy thing where he just did it on a. It was a black and white shot, and you just saw Andrew and him just put up a whiteboard,
and just shoot it.
6 pictures, which looked insane.
That guy is doing some remarkable stuff. And the year that he won that after his wife passed away, it was like. Yeah. It was beyond emotional, but also he just somehow pulled something out of a hat that just blew everybody's mind. And, it was wonderful to see that.
But what I like about him, and this is what I go for as well, I don't like fussy. He's simple. He would do something and it's just simple. It's a simple shot. Yeah. And that's what I've gone for. Yeah. And in the awards, my awards, everybody has stuck to what they do. Yeah. So this time round, and again, I have to revert to it when I show it to you, these just jump out even more because there's no comfort zone of anything. And what my skill is, and I would say it's a skill, but you won't necessarily pinpoint it. I was trained in afro hair, session hair.
That's right.
I do everything. I don't do one particular thing.
Well, if someone asked me to do afro hair, I'd be running a mile. It's like I just don't even go there. And yet I know I had the opportunity to do some afro hair with Pivot Point in America for their book. And they said they needed to have afro hair. Yeah. And I was saying, well, I need you to bring in someone to help me prepare it because I don't even know where to go with that. It's just not something I do. Yeah. But by God, what great hair it is to work with.
Yeah, it is. It is. But just remember, and I think a lot of people get scared of the kind of, I won't say the thickness. They don't get the definition between European hair, which goes into mixed cultured hair, which goes into Arabic, and then it goes into African, and then it goes into real kind of Sudanese, which is that dust hair. Yeah. Can't do anything with that hair. No. You can treat it, you can make it soft, but you style it, forget it. You have to technically break it down and then do it. So that's the thing which I love now, because people are understanding how to get the hair into condition first and then
well, we've got products now that are probably more user friendly to make that happen as well.
Oh, totally. But just obviously come back to the collection. The great thing about this collection, and I'm going to say it because somebody who I admire and I grew up with, and we were in the Fame team together, is Antoinette Beatles. Antoinette, when she won British Hairdresser of the Year a few years ago, or could be 5 or 6, her collection was a blinder.
Oh, I loved it.
And it was, again, that word, I love it. It was left field because people couldn't work it out. And I remember to the letter, because it's a photographer who I loved. She did a kind of Paolo Roversi style. Few were crouching. Yeah. Somebody, and I was like, it was amazing. And it was all sepia. Yes.
I remember it. I can still see it.
And that's the great thing of our industry and what we do as visual people. My recollection of images and things are amazing. I don't need my phone. No. I can vaguely, Anthony Mascolo's, I know his pictures. Charles Worthington when he won with Rankin, I know that. There's a lot of pictures
There's a picture every time I think of you. Is one of the collections where they had the ruffle collar. Oh. And I thought that was how long ago was that one?
That was 11 years ago, 12 years ago.
I still have that.
And I've got it in my, that's the only picture I have in my home, because I had blown up here, and then when we refurbished, I was coming back from a job and they cleared all the salon and had that in a skip, and I went nuts. Oh, yes. I took it out and brought it home. That Royal collection,
I love
it's timeless.
I love that, because I think it was you and I did something fairly similar around the same time, because I did that Edwardian thing as well.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, I don't know who did it first, but we both had a bit of a ruffle collar.
I loved it.
And we were doing it.
But you know what was so interesting about this? And this is why I love life, and I love, because, Joey Scandizo,
Yes.
I've known him for ages, and then the Fame team. He was always around me and Andrew. They knew each other, and I always knew those two would get together, because Jane did 2 or 3 collections for me.
Yes.
His wife, who was then a model, and then the next minute the item. So it's amazing to see that happen, because I don't know if they were seeing each other then. They could have been or whatever. But to see her now, and I look at them and I just think, what an amazing couple. They're
a lovely couple. 2.5 children on the way. But I tell you, when I opened up the images and judged that last Hair Expo award, and I opened his up, I could not believe it. It was just absolutely amazing. There was no doubt in the world, I think, in anyone's mind that he wasn't going to win that last year. And he got up on stage and he had a very, very long speech prepared, because I think he was going to take his moment to finally be able to fulfill what he's always worked so hard for. And
so what is that, 6 pictures you have to do, or 8?
6 in Australia. God,
imagine doing 6 pictures.
But you do 8.
Yeah, we do 8.
Oh, you think 6 would be great?
Yeah, it would be amazing.
Yeah, 8's tough.
Yeah.
And you actually only do 4, and then you have to do another 4. But for you, you'll be doing 8 straight off.
Yeah, we do 8 straight off. If I was qualifying for it, because in the British Hairdressing Awards, I'm in Hall of Fame for a category. And if you win 3 times, you're in Hall of Fame. But for those people, they have to send in 4 pictures, and then they get through, and then they send in another 4. They've just changed the rule for newcomer. Newcomer, you send in 4 pictures, and if you get accepted, you only send in 2. So they've got that down to 6.
Yes.
But everything else
I'm just thinking the cost of 8 pictures is ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
I'm pleased to say that Hair Expo have just announced, and I don't know if you realise, they're actually doing a category for Master Cutter.
Yeah.
And it's only 3 images.
Yeah.
So they want to be 4, and they want a fabulous, fabulous haircut. So just this is their first year of launching that, and I think that's going to bring some interest, because there's a lot of people who aren't, the stylist or, into that sort of type. They're purists as far as cutters are concerned.
It's funny you should say that. Again, this is why I'm sad Akin Kanizi's not in British anymore. Akin, when it comes to cutting and precision, you know his ethos, and you know what he's like. He's a very passionate educator. He always raised the bar with the British, because aesthetically, we do things. I love cuts, but I don't always do cuts, because I like to
do a bit of everything. Yeah.
But it's quite interesting in this collection, especially with all these awards, I'm the only person who's done a cut. Everything is
just dressed.
Yeah, and it's quite interesting. And I'm not saying, but this is a definite cut. This is like a mouth-watering cut. But it's quite interesting. If Akin showed something, it would be 4 definite things,
beautiful
and then
haircuts, and
moved
just a little
into
bit of
something
dressing.
else.
Yes.
And it would always have a fringe. It would always have a shape. Mark Hayes is another one, but then again, his work changed because he was getting more into softer work,
more texture.
Yeah. So it's quite interesting how people go into a shoot, and that's why I want to win and get out, because there's other people who need to kind of showcase their work.
So while you're constantly being nominated, then that obviously doesn't open the door for other possibilities.
It doesn't.
So why do you think we don't see so many girls there?
And you have to check my history. I'm always an advocate, and I always push the girls, and I think, and this again, and I'm going to choose my words carefully, it's not the thing, it's you have to push yourselves out there. You've been out there, but again, nothing will come to you.
No, I agree.
Okay, so a lot of these people who say they want to get out there, they're just talking about it, they're not actually doing it. Okay, you have to absolutely do your bit, and you do your shows, you get your name out there. But yes, we want to see more women, but they have to push themselves. I don't think it's a given. It can't be a given.
No.
And in London, and it's changed now, the demographics, because we haven't got many. You know, Beverly Cabela is in a league on her own. Oh God, Sally Brooks is, but she's in a different league, if you see what I mean. Sophia Hilton is in a totally different league, but she's not submerging herself in this league, but she is. Does that make sense? She's concentrating on her business.
Yes.
Not another salon is a phenomenal. So you can tell she's concentrating on her business. So what's bad about that? She's getting the headlines, but business first.
Well, and rightly so.
Yeah.
And rightly so.
And other than that, I would say Indira Shawaka.
Yes, she's doing some wonderful things.
Unbelievable. Effie.
Yes, they're
Davis.
doing some great stuff.
And you see what I mean? You dry up. One of my girls who I'm really proud of, and she's really coming through, and you should Google her, is Ashley Hodges. She's coming through. She's a young girl. And who else? Other than that, there's not many people, you know, because you can't.
Yeah, I think it's a tough thing for females because you know they get to a stage, they do their time, they qualify, they work hard, they're creative, they're artistic, and then all of a sudden maybe they end up having a baby or something like that, and there's this whole mental thing about you know you want to do it, but then you've got this guilt thing that goes on as well because you know while you're trying to be a mum and trying to work and trying to be creative, something gives, you know, it's a tough role for a female.
Joanna Creed Brown, that's the other person.
Yes.
Yeah. And then because she dipped out for a while and then she's had a baby and now she's back.
Yeah. But I think as they move through the years, as the years roll on, if they still got that passion, you know, when they get into their, you know, 40s plus, then they're, you know, they're probably past the kid thing, past the, you know, the fact that they're feeling, you know, frustrated because they can't be everything to everybody. And I, to be honest, for me personally, I've only really probably put my foot to the pedal when I turned 50. Yeah. And I think I've done more since I've turned 50 than what I was salon focused prior to that and looking after kids and trying to be everything there. But, you know, after that, I decided, well, if I'm going to stay here at 50, I better actually make a mark. Yeah. Because I never wanted to be one of those hairdressers that was like, oh, well, she's old hat. Yeah. So, you know, it's tough. But for the guys, you know, you've got a lot of killer instinct out there. And for your business and your profile and everything like that, it's essential, isn't it?
For me, and I'm glad you said that, you know, because I'm not over the hill yet. I'm 54 and I can do a shoot like Jamie. I can do a shoot with any of these guys. And that's what I love, because if I'm being booked to do session work, I can do session work. I absolutely love talking to Sam at night. Sam is he's got his finger on everything. Look at him, over 60.
I know.
Actually, no, he hit retirement age a couple of years. He's 60 something anyway. But at the end of the day, that's what makes it so real. When you see people like that, and he is still
at the top of his game.
Vogue ask him to do shoots all the time, but at the same time, which is really, really difficult from my point of view, is I see him as the person who is a demigod, super god, because Sam at Night's name internationally is... Yeah,
he's just powering, isn't he?
Yeah.
I think, and also I think...
Did you see his exhibition when he was here?
No, but I mean, he was doing the Masters, and I think everybody got to know him even more so, and I think that he was very lucky to, you know, be connected with that, because that for those people down under that might never know that, you know, it's amazing as an educator and you travel and you mention all these, you know, Eugene and Sam and you know Guido and all of that. People look at you quite dull, like, who are these people? And I get them to start researching them, because I really they need to be understanding who are the leaders out there and what they're doing. Because
I'm proud, because again, I know Guido's a great guy. One of my first assistants, who was with me for ages, a girl called Naomi Regan, his first assistant. I'm so proud of her. And again, look at this girl's come from nowhere. She's like Essex and whatever, and she's around the world doing every
Every show.
Big show, Dior, Javon, any big show you can think of, she's doing the look. If he can't do it, and she directs everything.
Wow. God.
It's insane.
Isn't it nice when you see your young ones come through the ranks?
Yeah.
You know, I think you would agree that, you know, to see your own, you know, when you take a baby and you grow it through the system and see them do well.
Yeah.
I mean, as a salon owner, that's all you really want, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. And it's quite interesting. And again, and we touched upon it upstairs. You know, Jamie Stevens was with me for 7 years. I took him around everywhere. It was Errol and Jamie. Yeah. And look at him now. I'm so proud of what he's done. But at the same time, we're not competitors. No. But look at him. He used to be my person who I was showcasing, and now he's in the British Hairdressing Awards with me. Yes. Yeah. So, come on, Errol. I want to get out.
But I think, you know, that's, you got to pat yourself on the back. Yeah. It must make you so proud to see what you guys have achieved. Because sometimes you look back and think, oh my God, you know, I've been at it for so long, look how many people I've nurtured and all of that. And I don't think we sometimes take a step back to actually look at what you have done as an individual, and not only for your team, but what you do internationally. Yeah. Because, you know, particularly in Australia, I know, like, you're like one of us down there. I mean, you're always there. Yeah. So you always show up at every award. So it's just like, oh, here's Errol. Like, he's just like, oh, Errol's here tonight, you know. So it's just like you're part of the furniture down there. But, you know, you've made yourself an amazing name, a great reputation. You're solid. You know, you're still powering. You haven't lost any enthusiasm.
Oh, thank you. No, never. I don't think I ever will. The one thing I'm working on at the moment, and I hope it does happen, because once upon a time I did a big hair biz forum. Yes. And I'm hopefully, come on Linda, I'm hopefully
maybe go back next year. Yeah. Well, I'm going to be there.
Oh, really? Oh, yes. God, we've got to make it happen.
We could do this together then. Yeah. No, I'm definitely doing it. So you're waiting for Linda to come with that?
You know.
Yes, she said she's working on it all.
But it would be amazing, because I love that type of forum, because it reminds me of the old Congress. Yes. Okay. Yes. One of the greatest things, and to me, because I get so geared up, is when I do a show and then it's over. Yes. And I can't do anything with it. So there, you go out in the foyer, you break it down, you meet people. I love that. You know, instead of just taking down the hair and then they go on their way. That just kills me a little bit.
So how do you feel the next day after you've worked so hard? Say, for instance, the show you've just done in Russia, and I've been watching it on the internet and thinking, oh my God, that, you know, there's some massive stuff that you've done there. Fabulous clothing, amazing show. And then the next morning you wake up and it's done. Deflated. How do you feel mentally over that?
Totally deflated. Yeah. The thing, what people don't understand is, a project to me is a project, okay? If I was trying to invent the new Tesla, our equipment is a limp. If I'm trying to invent something, I'm going with the whole process, to start to finish. What materials, how is it going to bounce, how is it going to scratch, the whole thing. I do that with my show, and then when the show is there, and I'm thinking, when I see the images, I'm going, yeah, I love this. And then when I have to take it down, and you know, if you're doing avant-garde hair or anything elaborate, it's intricate putting it in, and then this is why I always say to an assistant, don't rip that hair up.
I know.
And then they rip it out.
Pull it out.
Yeah,
I know.
And I just say, let's take it down gently and whatever, because I may be able to use it again. But I'm almost aghast, because I can see a girl when they come in and they look all normal, and then when they go out and they're all dressed up, you go, that factor in hairdressing I love. The fact that you can get somebody who looks normal, okay? You can either cut their hair or dress their hair, Sharon. They can sit in this chair as a normal model, and then by the time of it, you know, when you do time lapse on your film and on your phone, and then they go, wow, okay? That's what
Where
I love.
was that? Where is she now?
Yeah, but I get very deflated after a show. Yeah, and you know,
so it takes a little bit to just wind back up again.
Okay, this is another factor about Errol Douglas which annoys me, is if I'm doing a competition or if I'm doing something and I don't get what I want, or I lose or whatever, I don't win, straight away I'm researching.
Yeah.
And one of the things which annoys me, certain competitions don't give you feedback.
Yes.
Okay, give me a point system, give me something I can work on, give me something tangible. And I think a lot of them now are doing that, but the worst thing is you're blind all the time. Blind.
You have no idea. No. You don't know whether you're half a point away or whether you're 10 points away.
Our awards, no feedback at all.
No.
Your awards, I know they have
getting
to now.
some now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. So I don't know if the feedback's that relevant, because when you're doing 200 entries, you sort of start running out of feedback.
No, but you know what's relevant is if it's 69 or whatever.
Yes, you're getting something. Yeah.
But I know you can't comment on everybody's. I do agree.
Well, you have to.
Yeah,
because you can't move on.
Yeah, true.
Yes.
But if you're doing it in such a way where the top 20 or the top 10 are scored,
yes,
great. And if you're not in that, you would never be in that. Yeah. So.
Well, I am I've got fingers and toes crossed for you for Monday. I really love it. So to let you off the hook, so you can feel like you can move on and get another life. But I feel for you, because I know what it's like, and that the pressure is phenomenal. There's no doubt about that.
The thing what I would love to see, Sharon, this is the truth. It's my staff get so upset.
Yes.
My clients get so upset.
They get very devastated.
They don't know what to say. They want to call somebody. I said, don't. There is a lot of crazy stuff because I'm in a void. We don't know. So just imagine, and this is all I'm going to say because you know what I'm saying, because you said you went into something for 7 years. Just imagine I've gone home every single year with nothing. I do what they ask. My collections don't stagnate. They get better and better and better. I've done some dud ones, of course, but they get better. I know they're getting better.
Yeah.
But I don't understand sometimes if something wins lesser.
Yeah.
That's what gets me.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying anything because I can't name names because it's not about that. When you kind of think, I don't get that. Or wigs. Or anyway, it's just, I like hair. I'm a hairdresser.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to wrap this up because I think we've nearly passed our time, and I've just, we could talk for 20 hours, I think, here. I think we have a mutual understanding about frustration of not winning, and also, and it is, I understand the fact that you're just not, getting that feedback. Feedback, as we all know as a human being, is the only thing that keeps us going. Yeah. But more power to you for getting up the next day and not sort of hitting the tranquilizers in a bottle, but actually starting to think about what the next plan's going to be. So that's amazing, because I know in the past I've actually dug a hole and put myself in it for quite a bit of time, but slowly again, come back out.
But you do that, but you know the other side of you, because that's the great power of a human being. You've got good voices in your head, and then you've got the demons in your head. And if your good voice is telling you at the end of the day, you can do better, come on, pull yourself together. Yeah. Okay, because everybody goes through, because we call it in British Hairdresser Awards, Black Tuesday. Everybody goes through Black Tuesday, and it's awful because you don't want to speak to anybody. You're kind of hungover as well. Yeah. It's like such an anti-climax.
Yes,
okay?
It is.
And again, and I'm going to finish on this, our awards is one of the biggest anti-climaxes in the world, because just remember, this starts way back in May. Before then. Yes. And it culminates now. Yes.
So you're going right through till the end of November. So it's been a long, long process. Well, I wish you all the best. I know your ship's going to come in. Not sure when. It has to.
Yeah, Monday it has to.
So thank you so much for taking the time. And I understand that you've got a busy life, and it's just such a privilege to have the time to chat. I hope you enjoyed my hairy chat with Errol Douglas. Sadly enough, Errol didn't win, But he tells me he's going to line up again next year, so he's hoping that he does win the British Hairdressing Awards along the way. My next hairy chat is with the wonderful Jean-Baptiste Masala from Masala and Palmer.